Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Michaela and I make diamond painting videos here on this channel, but today I have a little bit of a different video. Oh my gosh, you guys, Hatchet Heroes reached out to me a couple of months ago and asked if I was interested in showing off the English versions of the mystery Disney color by number books, and I said, yeah, of course, that sounds amazing. So recently, I think it was April 10th, I might be wrong on the date, Hatchet Heroes released 5 of their Disney mystery color by number books in English versions, and I am here today to flip them for you guys and just briefly chat about the differences between the French versions and the English versions, just in case you already own the French versions, just so you can make a determination if the English version is also something you want. But I will be flipping through the Classics volume, which if you have the French version, it's actually the volume 4 version, just so no one gets confused. I also at first thought it was maybe like the volume 1, but it's volume 4 of the Classics, but they have it just listed as Classics. And then I have Portraits, Princesses, Family, and Pixar volume 1. So I'm really excited to flip through these books with you guys and chat about the differences. The beginning of the video shouldn't have spoilers. I'll definitely make sure to let you guys know when spoilers will happen. But I do want to give the disclaimer that I will be flipping through all of the books for you guys. So if you don't want spoilers, I recommend clicking off this video. But if you want to see spoilers for these coloring books, then let's keep on watching and let's get into the video. Okay, so I will leave listed down below where you can pick up these coloring books from. I believe, so the link I'm going to leave you guys down below is a Hatchet Heroes link, and then I believe from there it will take you with a different link, I think, on that page to Amazon UK. So these are more readily available for people that live, I believe, in the United Kingdom is probably where it's easiest for people to get these books. But if you live in the United States, you can still order off of Amazon UK. But yeah, I'll leave that listed down below for sure, where you guys can pick up these 5 books if you want to pick them up. At the moment, these are the only ones that are released in English, and I'm just really thrilled to see that they're doing it in English. I think that's just really, really neat. And especially if these aren't books that you've had already, it's like, oh, I can grab the English version now, so that's really fun. So I wanted to quickly talk through the differences that I've noticed between the French version and the English version. On the right side here, I have the French version, and over here I have the English version. Right off the bat, right, the language, right, this is in French, this is in English. Over here you have the name of it, and then this little description down here, which I had no idea ever what that said. Turns out this is what it says. It says, color the numbers and reveal the picture. Makes sense, makes sense. The cover is exactly the same. And then if you flip to a random page, I guess we'll flip to the same page in both of them. Page 48. If you flip to, uh-oh, hold on, stand by. This is one of my finished ones, in case anyone was wondering. Okay, yeah. If we flip to the same page in both of the versions, they are gonna, I guess it's really hard to tell on camera, but they are gonna look identical. The color palettes are gonna be identical. However, one thing I will say is that what I was noticing, I flipped through all of the books together just to make sure all of the images matched up. There are a couple of images in, I think, every single book, maybe there would be 1 or 2 that don't, that have a slightly different image than what I have in the French version. I'm not entirely sure the reason for that, but I guess keep that in mind if you're looking to pick up another copy of these books. Most of the images are the same between the 2 books. A couple of differences I noticed more specifically in the Princesses volume, but I could be missing some. But yeah, just keep that in mind that some of the images might be like a little bit different than the French version. But I would say for the most part, it's mostly the same. And then also in the older book, when you went, not the older book, the French book, it's older for me. This was actually one of the first coloring books I bought. It's really funny actually, because this book, Portraits and Princesses, were all a part of my first order I had purchased. So I think it's very, very funny that Hatchet decided to release these 3 as a part of their initial release. I just think that's hilarious. But if you go to the back here, which I am going to say that you might see spoilers right now, so if this is not something you want to see, then please click off. But if you flip to the back here and you open this little flap, there is not a tracker here. But if we look in the newer volume, and we flip to the back here, we actually have a tracker in the back. So if you enjoy like coloring in the box whenever you finish a page and see that come to life, you have it in the English version. So I wanted to point that out. And then actually the back of the book as well. On the back of the book here, we just have a description. I never knew what this said. Turns out this is what it says. So yeah, I'm not going to do this in depth for every single book. They all kind of have the same kind of basic look to them, so they're all going to be very similar, but I did just want to point out these differences here before we got to flipping. So those are the differences. I hope that, you know, maybe helped aid in your decision if you want to grab the English version, if you already have the French version. But if you don't have the French version, then like obviously this doesn't really matter. And if you're deciding them between the French version and the English version, I would just say, you know, do what works best for you. But again, I believe these linked down below for sure for you to pick up from Hatchet Heroes and Amazon UK, I believe. So anyways, alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and actually move this book to the floor because I don't need that one anymore. We're gonna go ahead and get started with the flip throughs. So the first one I have is the classics. So let's go ahead and head to the back of the books. So if you've never colored in these coloring books before, these are really, really fun. They're Mystery Disney Color by Number books. You have a color palette and a bunch of squiggly lines like I showed you guys, and you create a beautiful Disney image. Like I said, what's really cool about the English version is that these movies are all listed in English. I don't have to stress whenever I'm trying to say, oh, what is this movie? It just tells me. This book has a really good mix of all of the classic movies. I will say in this volume specifically, you're gonna find a lot of sequels for whatever reason. I don't know why this book has tons of sequels, but I don't necessarily care that it's a bunch of sequels because I feel like you're still coloring the same characters that you know and love anyways. So that doesn't really bother me, but that is something to note about this book specifically. I will also mention that in the description box of every single video, I actually have a spreadsheet. Basically on this spreadsheet, I always have a hard time describing it. On the spreadsheet, I have all of the Disney mystery books listed, all of them, including these, right? Like, I'm not going to relist these because they're mostly the same between the English and the French version, but I have a spreadsheet listed with all of the books on the top row, and then down the left column, I have all of the Walt Disney animated films, and I basically tell you guys, so like Beauty and the Beast, on page 18, I have that notated in the spreadsheet. So in case you are looking for a book that has a lot of a movie, you can easily kind of see that. It's really hard to explain, but I promise it's very straightforward in the spreadsheet. So like I said, I think with most of these newer English books, it's going to be the same throughout the French version and the English version, minus a couple of pages that they swapped out. I don't know exactly the reason why they swapped them out. And if I'm being honest, like maybe this was a swap out. And the newer French versions have this too. Because again, I purchased some of these books back in like 2021. I don't know, but I did just want to make that note, I guess. This book has a distinct style from some of the others I'm gonna show you guys. This has I like this style. This is my favorite style, where a lot, if not all of the pages are actually black outlined. So you can use, what I like to use at least, is a black acrylic paint marker. I like using the Arteza paint markers, and you kind of outline the character in black and then you fill in the rest. I like that method. I think it helps my eyes a little bit because some of these pages, as you'll see in a couple of the other books, can get pretty detailed. This is honestly very mild in terms of detail. This is on the easier side for sure. Honestly, probably top 2 of the easiest books in this list. They're very simple pages, really truly. Trust me when I say that. So yeah, the black outlining just really helps kind of set everything on the page, and it just helps, you know, color it in easier. So this book has that kind of style to it, and I just think it's a really fun, bold look. So yeah, I use acrylic paint marker to outline, and then for actually coloring the pages, I like to use water-based markers. You definitely don't want to use alcohol-based markers in these coloring books. They will bleed through the page. However, you can use water-based markers, so like Crayola Super Tips. You can use Staedtler dual-ended markers. I know Hoo has a set of water-based markers as well that you can use. What other brands? I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I'm sure there are. That is a great choice. They do streak. I don't necessarily mind the streaking, but some people do. And then you also can use colored pencils. That is definitely a method that takes a little bit more patience, I think, because colored pencils are, I think they're just harder to build up, and you don't always get the like bold color payoff like you do with markers. But that is an option. You also, I've seen a bunch of people use acrylic paint markers, and I definitely think that looks the best. I don't know. I haven't tried them yet. I want to. I feel like as a lefty, I'm almost just like a little bit concerned just cause like, I don't want to get my hand all in the paint, but I guess maybe righties have that problem too. I don't know. Whatever, it's fine. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe at some point I'll eventually give those a try, but acrylic paint markers is definitely a good option as well that people use. So these images are so adorable, you guys. It has been so long since I've looked through some of these solutions of some of these coloring books. Honestly, it's so funny too, because yeah, I haven't flipped through on the channel these coloring books in ages. Like obviously the newer ones I have, but like this book, like the classics, volume 4 in the French version, just volume 1 in the English version, but like, wow, it's been a while since 2021. That's so crazy. That's so crazy. Which images have I done? I can't even exactly remember which images I've done. I don't know if I've done any of these. Oh, you know what? I might have done this Paperman page. It's so funny because there are some random shorts thrown into some of the pages. You'll find Paperman in a couple of the volumes. I believe this might be the only one in this volume, but it's funny how random some of these pages get, and I love it. But that just means you get a really good variety of the movies, and yeah. This is cool because it only has 5 colors, which I should add, this book also is a good book if you're not looking for, or if you're looking for a book that doesn't encompass that many colors on a page. This is a really good option because yeah, there really are not many colors on the pages. Some of the books get really, really high color count, and that can definitely be a little bit stressful when you're trying to pick your colors. So very fun pages. Also, I apologize if I'm talking too much. Feel free to mute me and double speed me. I do tend to flip through these books pretty slowly. I have to maybe flip a little faster, otherwise we're gonna be here forever. I love the Beauty and the Beast Rose. I think this is such a fun page. I've been dying to do this one since I got the book initially forever ago, and have not done that one yet, but it's so cute. I love it a lot. I feel like my volume 4, this book, I feel like I did a lot of pages in, like a fair amount, when I was really into coloring. If you guys don't know, if you're just catching my channel because this video is being recommended to you, I make a lot of diamond painting content on my channel now. I don't do as much coloring, but I have honestly always made it a point to flip these coloring books and purchase them because I really love collecting them. I just think they're so amazing, and I don't know. I just think they're really, really cool. I enjoy flipping them and looking at them, and eventually one day I'll get back to it. But if you're coming from like this video getting recommended to you or whatever, yeah, I do diamond painting most of the time, but I used to do a lot more adult coloring on my channel. But yeah, I definitely flip through these books quite a bit. I think, have I done this page? I don't know, honestly. I don't know. Yeah, really good mix of the classics in here, but also kind of a lot of sequels. But again, like, right, this is a Little Mermaid sequel. It's the Little Mermaid Ariel's beginning, but also you're coloring Ariel. So I don't know. I don't think it necessarily matters that it's sequels, but just an FYI. And then Incredibles 2, right? Okay. Anyway, so then we have our last page, Bambi 2, Kronk's New Groove, Aladdin, and Coco. Very, very fun. And like I said, we do have a tracker here. But anyways, yeah, that is the classics. Okay, next up we have portraits. I figured it could be kind of fun to just show you guys quickly as a glance over like the differences in the cover. There really is not a difference in this cover, I guess, minus like the fact that this is like a dark blue in the English version. Oh, excuse me, this is the French version. In the French version, and then the English version's like a little bit lighter, but no real difference here in the cover. Again, mostly just the writing is in the respective language, but let's go ahead and take a look at portraits. So let's go ahead and flip to the back. This one does have I believe, a misprint, but I will point that out when we get to it. It's hard to know necessarily what we're actually going to end up with page-wise, just because, and I'll explain when we get there, but it might be a little bit hard to know what actual images are supposed to be in that spot, just because these are mystery books. So this one, actually, what I should point out quick is that these are basically, they're kind of like optical illusions. So like you're seeing one image If you guys can see the really kind of dark gray outline, but that's not what the image is going to be. I should have pointed that out first. If you're looking to just get into these coloring books, I wouldn't necessarily start with this one. I mean, I did, which might have been dumb. But these are a little bit more confusing to color for that reason. But as long as you're coloring by the numbers, I don't necessarily foresee there being an issue, but I did just want to point out that you might get a little bit confused if this is the book you decide to start with. But once you get a couple other ones under your belt, like then I feel like moving into this is pretty simple to do, but I just wanted to say that. But this is another book where you're going to find a lot of classic movies. I don't entirely know what the distribution is really on this one, but yeah, a lot of the classic movies in this one. I'll try to flip a little bit faster for you guys. I definitely was letting it sit for a while. So cute. A couple of Bambis. So fun. This book is not, in my opinion, as bright and vibrant as, honestly, even the classics. I feel like the classics is a really bright volume. Princesses is going to be a nice and bright volume. Family, I think, also is a really bright color palette as well. So this one's a little bit more on like the darker side. And if you guys couldn't tell, this kind of has a different art style as well. The pages, some of them are black outlined, but some of them are not. Like this Lilo and Stitch page is not. It's a little bit more stylized, and you're going to actually find a lot more of this style in the Pixar book specifically. So it really is kind of just dependent on what you want. But yeah, there are a bunch of different artists that do these coloring books, and I feel like once you start collecting them, you can kind of pick out which artists kind of do what style, which I think is kind of fun. And plus there's something out here for everybody. So yeah, you kind of have some darker color palettes over here, but as long as you pick colors that are a little bit brighter, I don't necessarily see there being an issue. So yeah, you can just kind of pick brighter colors. I love this so much. It's been so long. It really has been a long time. And I really did forget just how not detailed these books used to be. They really, really grew to be more detailed. And the more these books started progressing, they really started doing more detailed books. Which again, there is something for everybody, which there's definitely something to say for that, so. I love this Donald page. Have I done it? I don't know. I really can't remember. Some of them I do remember. Yeah, some of them I don't though. This one feels maybe a little bit stretched out funny. I've never actually noticed that, but like her face just feels really stretched out. I don't know if that's the same in the French version as well, but yeah, another like more stylized page, the Toy Story, the other Toy Story. I think the Pixar pages in general tend to be a little bit more stylized. I'm not entirely sure why that is, but I feel like you're going to find it with a lot of the Pixar pages, but yeah, this is like a little bit dark as well. So I would definitely pick brighter colors, and this image then will look a little bit more brighter. A little bit more bright, yeah. So adorable. Oh, I love, is this even one in the other one? I don't know. I don't recall this page. So fun. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. I've only been filming for 20 minutes. I should not already be done. Okay, I think, okay, this is the start of the misprint, I believe, because, let me just double check while you guys are looking at this page. I just want to make sure I am speaking as correctly and accurately as I can. No. Wait, hold on. Okay, I think these four are going to be the misprints because, and again, this is just me speculating, because if you flip over to the next page, these are the same four images as before, and these match the French version. And so I'm wondering what four images, if it'll match the French version, that these will be actually. So yeah, a little bit of a misprint in this book. It happens. Yeah, so, and honestly, I don't know if every copy is going to be like that, but I did just want to point out that this copy is like that, so. Excuse me, my goodness. Cute Fantasia page. Again, I think I've done this Mickey page. I don't even know. I really don't even know at this point. Oh, I think I did this ticker page actually. That I did do at some point. And also, not all of these books have Winnie the Pooh, so this one does. Yeah, not all of them do, which is kind of sad. I wish more books had the Winnie the Pooh. I feel like that's just like a classic. I think they need an entire Winnie the Pooh book. I am just saying. Couple more pages of images. Love the Inside Out. I just really love Inside Out. Such a good film. And then on to the last page. Got Dumbo, The Rescuers, Wreck-It Ralph, and Robin Hood. A really good mix. This book has a great, great mix. And then over here, we just have the tracker again that you're not going to find in the French version. And yeah, that is portraits. Let's go ahead and move on into princesses. Alrighty, so next up we have princesses. Again, I just wanted to show you guys the cover, how there's no difference between the English and the French version. But yeah, I just wanted to bring this over here really quickly, but let's go ahead and get flipping into the princesses volume. This one, I really enjoy this volume. Number one, tons of bright colors in this volume. I don't know, I just think that that's really fun. However, this is just princesses. You're not going to find anything else in this book other than princesses, a couple castles, things like that. So if you're looking for basically any non-princess, this isn't going to be the book for you. But if you love the Disney princesses, this is a good choice. So definitely up to you. But yeah, you're going to have like quite a few of each, you know, like Moana and The Little Mermaid, all that kind of stuff. You're going to have quite a few of each image. So obviously, like, you know, the princess in different positions doing different things, but you're also not really gonna get any of the princes in here. I guess this Tangled page is a very bad example, and so is the Aladdin page, but I wouldn't bank on necessarily always finding the princes. This is more focused on the princesses. This is such a cool, like, stained glass kind of page. I think that's so neat. Snow White, perfect, because the new Snow White live action just came out. Did anyone see it? Let me know in the comments. I definitely want to know. I definitely still need to see it. I want to watch it so bad. Maybe I'll just wait till it comes out at Disney Plus on this point, but I have been, not gonna lie, kind of obsessed with Rachel Zegler's version of Whistle While You Work, and that's fine. I think it's just a hyperfixation song right now. So it's great. I love it. But this book, I think, is a better example of a book that has a little bit more detail if that's something you're looking for. Color palette wise, I think they did a really good job of keeping the color palette contained. Yeah, I'm just taking a look here. I feel like they did a pretty good job of keeping the color palettes contained. Like, yeah, some of them do go a little bit high, but again, trust me, this is not as high as they could be going, and have in other books, and the level of detail, I think it's a little bit more detailed. In my opinion, definitely compared to like the classics. I mean, honestly, or even the portraits. I definitely think it's a little bit more detailed. However, something I have seen some other people do, let's say this Tangled page, right? You really want to do it, but you're like, that background looks like it's going to take me out. Honestly, ignore the background. Ignore all of the little details and just color it in one color. You absolutely can do that. It's your coloring book. Do whatever you want. Obviously, like, you know, it's going to take a little bit more time to do the background. I think it would look really cool, but I also think it'll look really good without the background. And if you just want to do the princess, you totally can. So just a fun little, like, tidbit in case that was something that just never occurred to you that you could be able to do. Yeah, you could totally just not do the background. Some of these backgrounds are a lot more basic than others, though, which I can appreciate that we have a good mix of both. Like, you know, these two are not so bad, but like that's definitely a little bit more detailed. I mean, the Snow White with the castle in the background is definitely a little bit more detailed. I love these images. Oh, I have been meaning to do this for Halloween. Now granted, again, I started diamond painting and then all coloring went out the window, but I really meant to do this for Halloween one year and I never did. I never did. Is 2025 the year? No, it really truly probably isn't. If I'm just being so honest with myself. I mean, we have, you know, like kind of castle house pages. I think it's a cool mix in here. But again, mostly princesses. Love the baby Moana so much. Got Beauty and the Beast with the rose again, but a different rose, obviously. Well, not like a different rose. I mean, a different page with a different rose, sure. But yeah, with a rose. I love all of the Little Mermaid pages. If I had to pick my favorite princess, it would probably be Rapunzel. I love Tangled a lot. But as a second favorite, I do really like Ariel and the Little Mermaid. And if I had to go ahead and pick a third, ooh, who would my third favorite be? I don't know. Moana. Honestly, can you guys tell when I grew up on the princesses? I feel like I wasn't necessarily an older Disney fan, just because I grew up a little bit beyond that. But, I mean, obviously I still like The Little Mermaid and things like that, but yeah, I feel like the newer Disney movies like Tangled, Frozen, Moana, things like that, I just have a strong association with. But let me know in the comments, what's your favorite Disney princess? I want to know. I want to know. Good. I feel like, honestly, like, considering that they're all princesses, we have a really good variety, definitely, of all of the different princesses doing different things. And honestly, like, even if you know, there's like a lot of obviously like Snow White pages, but I feel like you don't necessarily have to do them back to back, and you could swap around and you'll kind of never get bored because you're taking breaks in between. But I feel like this book is diverse enough that that shouldn't be an issue. Oh, I also really like this Christmassy one. Another one I thought about doing during the holiday time, but nope, did not happen. This Cinderella page, I mean, this is really not too detailed at all. Another thing I've actually seen people do, some of these outfits have like shadows in them. I've seen people not do the shadows, like coloring in the shadows. If that's too many colors and too much detail work, don't do it. I mean, really, truly, you can make these pages your own. You could even go in and color like her dress an absolutely different color. I mean, hey, I would love, I've seen people do that kind of stuff before with like backgrounds. I'm sure people have done it with outfits. I think it looks so cool. So make these books your own. I just think there's so much creativity you can do with these. So just as a fun little FYI. Another stained glass page. Oh, stop it. I love the Cinderella page with the pumpkin. So many good pages. This book really does have some good images. I like the Little Mermaid one a lot too. I also want to know, I'm just curious, when you guys work on these coloring books, are you guys the type of people that like work on them in order? I know some people work on these books like in order of pages and they do one book at a time. I want to know, is that you? When I did a lot more coloring, I would definitely skip around a lot. So I never made like a huge dent in any of them, but I mean, there are a couple books I definitely have a fair amount of pages done, but I never like started working on one like front to back. But let me know in the comments if that's something you do. I would definitely love to know. Got a couple more pages. Oh, this is beautiful. I think, Ashley, you did this one. Yeah, my friend Ashley, Messy Girl Crafts, she did this one not too long ago, and it looks so good. And this is not that many colors. This is a very cool take on the castle. I really like it. So yeah, got a few castles. I love her hair. So good. Got some snowy scenes, Mulan. And then we have the final page, which is, I was gonna say all Moana, but no, we have one Mulan, but mostly Moana. Yeah, you're just gonna find a bunch of all of them, which totally makes sense. I don't remember exactly what the distribution is between all the movies. I'd be very curious on this one specifically, just because there's so many of just like a few of them. And then of course we have the tracker here, but that is princesses. Alrighty, next up we have family. Obviously French on the left, English, nope, French French on the right, English on the left. The titles are a little bit different. I love that stitch is just fully covering up like this little part. But anyways, just wanted to, again, compare the covers. Let's go ahead and flip to this one, through this one. I think, honestly, I did a fairly decent job at flipping these from least difficult or detailed to most detailed. Minus the Pixar one really isn't that detailed. Maybe I didn't do that good of a job, but this book is a little bit more on the detailed side. We're gonna take princesses and take it an extra step further. This one, color palette wise, they don't show it on the pages. This one I think is gonna be a little bit more intense than the princesses book in terms of color palette. So keep that in mind if this is the book you're thinking about getting. Alternatively, you're getting pages with a lot of detail. So if you're into stuff like that with a lot of detail, this could be the book for you. This 101 Dalmatian page is not too detailed. But I would say this book definitely has more detailed pages than not detailed pages. So I love how these two kind of correlate with having the same background. I think that's gonna look really cool once they're done together side by side. They're not double page spread those. None of these books have double page spreads in them. Some of the French versions of the newer books do have double page spreads, but I don't think this one has any. I'm pretty sure these don't have any, so I know the other ones don't, but that was more of a recent start. Yeah, most of these pages are definitely more detailed. Got a few here and there that aren't too bad, but you're gonna find family scenes in this one, and you're probably gonna find a fair amount of the classics. And this book has some of the newer films. Some of the other ones didn't have the newer films simply because they were produced as the French versions a while ago. So in this book, I believe this book came out in, honestly, maybe 2023 or 2024. So not that long ago. So you're gonna find like Raya in here, Onward, which are movies you're not really gonna find in the other books. So if that's something you're interested in, this book might be a good choice for you. Turning Red. Okay, 2 Turning Reds. When did this book come out initially? Maybe it must have been 2024, I feel like. I don't know. Okay, this Jungle Book page is not too detailed, and this book has the black outlining again. So we're back to the black outlining. The Princesses book had kind of a mix, but it was mostly black outlining, but yeah, this one has a good amount of black outlining. It makes it a lot easier for these more detailed pages to see what the heck you're doing. So, this one is so cute. Ugh, I love Tangled so much. So yeah, you're gonna find Turning Red in here, so that's really, really neat. I mean, also some more obscure movies. Yeah, I mean, you got Treasure Planet. I think, oh, it was actually a couple books ago. I didn't even point it out, but there was a Home on the Range page, which you're not going to find very often. You are not going to find Home on the Range in that many books. I don't think Home on the Range is in this book, but maybe I'm wrong. This one's a little bit detailed for sure. More Treasure Planet. Lady and the Tramp, Strange World in this book. So in the French version, I've only done 1 page, and this is the page I did. Love how it turned out. So I definitely need to work more in my version of this book, for sure, for sure. Ugh. Okay, let's see, Mulan, more Raya. A lot of Raya in this book. Interesting. Zootopia. Is there a sequel called Zootropolis? Is that a thing? Did I know that? I don't know if I knew that. Yeah, I honestly don't know. Oh, the Fox and the Hound page is so cute. More Tangled. I love, actually, that some of the Tangled pages in this book are her with the shorter hair. Again, not something you see very often. That's cool, though, that that's a thing. I guess it makes sense, though. I don't know, given the subject matter, but... In this book, you also have Encanto, more Strange World, The Ducks, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, Moana. I feel like if you come from diamond painting and this is the first of these books that you're seeing, I would say this kind of scratches the same itch for me as diamond painting does a little bit. Like, you don't get the same, like ASMR kind of sounds you get with diamond painting, but I feel like you get a lot of satisfaction out of finishing a page and doing parts of pages and seeing things come to life. So I don't know if you're into diamond painting. I'm not trying to turn you on to another hobby or anything. However, I'm slightly trying to turn you on to another hobby. Yeah, super fun. This is the cover. This is the cover page. This Strange World page is beautiful. That's so cool. The amount of detail, really, truly. And I've seen people work on these pages and they look so good. I am so astounded every time I see someone work on one of these pages. I don't know if I just have no patience, but like these more detailed pages, I always say I want to do, but I never do. I don't know. I probably just don't have patience, but one of these days, I definitely need to give it a go. The Great Mouse Detective, I'm not sure we've seen many of that up until this point. More Strange World, a lot of Strange World and Raya, which is so good to see, because again, newer movies. The Lion King, Aladdin. Oh, I really like that Little Mermaid scene. Ooh, more Encanto. Oh, I really like that Frozen 2 page. That is super cute. And this book, I don't know if I mentioned, I might have, I don't know. Bright and colorful pages. Bright and colorful pages throughout. So, if that's what you're looking for. More of Huey, Dewey, and Louie. So cute. A couple, oh my god, 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. Little Mermaid, Jungle Book. Yeah, this is the last of this. And then we have the last 4 pages. I really like this Little Mermaid page. I really like this Little Mermaid page a ton. That is awesome. And then of course we just have the tracker, and that is it for family. Let's go ahead and move on into the last book, which is Pixar. First of all, I just want to say that if you made it all the way to this point in the video, thank you so much for sticking along. I really want to know if you guys are picking any of these books up, so let me know in the comments. But anyways, so again, the French version, the English version, nothing really different in the cover, so let's go ahead and get started flipping through the Pixar version. And right off the bat, you guys are going to notice a pretty stark difference in terms of art style. And this entire book is going to be in this art style. It is very, I can't think of the word I want to use, but it is very like, I feel like unique. It is really unique. And it's not everyone's cup of tea necessarily. This is a little bit more blocky almost, but I have done a few pages in my couple of Pixar books that I have, and I enjoy it whenever I do them, but they're not necessarily like my top favorite. And I will say that like sometimes, even though they're blocky to color, that doesn't always mean that they're easy to color. Like this Toy Story page kind of looks like a pain in my butt, just a little bit, because there's so much going on. But again, this is a very particular style, and you know, this is some people's favorite kind of style. So again, it really just depends on what you enjoy and what you think you're gonna, you know, find enjoyable to color. So yeah, it's very interesting how there can be so many differences within these coloring books, but yeah. And this book, you're only gonna find Pixar movies. So if you like Pixar, this is your thing. And this is the same book as Pixar Volume 1 in the French version. So you're not going to find any of the newer Pixar movies, but you're going to find bunches of the ones that came out during this time period when the book initially came out. So you're finding a lot of Incredibles, finding Nemo, Monsters, Inc., Cars. I really don't know what's not in here, if I'm being honest. I obviously like the new ones, but aside from that, I don't know if this one has Coco. We'll have to see. This one might not have Coco. Coco might be in Volume 2 of the French version. So, we'll see. I'll keep a close eye and see. But, yeah, these definitely do have a very particular style. Very stylized. I mean, honestly, it fits the Pixar theme well. I don't know. It does kind of, it gives Pixar. But, who's the artist on this one? Oh, that's so interesting. You know what? I find it very interesting. This is Jeremy Mariz. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name. But he also does a lot of the newer French versions of the, like, you know, color by numbers. So, like, volumes, like, I think, like, 10 and 11 are both him. And those are a very different style. So, it's interesting that we will get such different kinds of styles out of the same artist. So, we love a versatile artist. So very, very cool. The Incredibles, Monsters, Inc. Up. We have Up in here. A Bug's Life. You guys, oh my god. A Bug's Life used to be my favorite movie as a kid. I was so obsessed with A Bug's Life that when I was younger, my dad wrote me a letter, but like saying it was from like one of the characters of A Bug's Life. I was thrilled as a child. I was thrilled. Oh man. Brave. Got Brave in here because that is Pixar. What else? Yeah, I do not think we have Ratatouille. I don't think we have Coco. I think that starts at volume 2. So if you're looking for Coco, this is not your book, unfortunately. But The Good Dinosaur. What an underrated movie. Man, I feel like I hear nobody talk about The Good Dinosaur. Also, my battery is dying. No, I can make it through. I know I can make it through. I got this. I absolutely got this. I love the girl with the braces from Finding Nemo. I do not remember what her name was. I do not remember. But how iconic. How iconic. Lots and lots of Toy Story, Finding Nemo. You guys know the drill. WALL-E. Love WALL-E. Actually, do I love WALL-E? I don't know. I don't think WALL-E's a top movie for me. It's fine, but I don't know if I would necessarily choose to watch WALL-E, if I'm being so honest. I was just laughing at the look on his face. More Toy Story, Brave. Yeah, it's been a while since I've looked through this one. Yeah, I don't really color in these that often, like these Pixar ones. But it's just so particular in the style, you know? I definitely just prefer the black outlining kind of stuff, like I said earlier, so. More Cars. I feel like Cars. This definitely is the book for you. So many Cars pages. You're just getting one of everyone, which is so cool. Monsters, Inc. is so good also. Oh my gosh. I remember when Monsters University came out, I went and saw it in theaters with my cousins, and that's just such a memory that randomly just popped up. But no, I really like Monsters, Inc. and Monsters University. How long ago did Monsters University even come out? Trying to think. Was I in college? No, I doubt I was in college. Ooh, I was probably in high school. I don't even know. More Cars, more Toy Story, more Finding Nemo. More Bug's Life. Finding Dory. Yeah, so you'll find some of the sequels in here as well. I mean, you have like Toy Story 2. I imagine like Cars 2 is in something. Maybe this isn't the book for Cars 2. I'm not sure. But Finding Dory, oh my god. I love Finding Dory too. I don't know what it is. I think I'm more of a Pixar girly than a Disney girly. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe that's just the movies I more grew up on. Like Finding Nemo and, you know, Monsters, Inc., A Bug's Life, things like that. I don't know. We are getting toward the end, guys. I promise. I promise. Stop it. What's his name? Oh, I can't think of his name. Shoot. I know it, but I don't know it. Oh, well, that's fine. Oh, man. Oh my gosh, actually, wow. Most of these are Finding Dory on this page. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the 8 pages are Finding Dory, and the other are The Good Dinosaur. Inside Out. We just have a whole, oh, that's not Inside Out. We just have a whole 5 spread of Inside Out, and I love it. I love it. Have we had Inside Out up until this point in this book? I'm not entirely sure we did, actually. And then the last page of images, Toy Story, Brave. And Brave and Brave. 3 Brave and a Toy Story. Toy Story 3. So we have those, and then of course we have our tracker. You guys, oh my goodness, thank you for sitting and watching this video and dealing with me And I want to know, are you guys picking up any of these books? Do you already own them? Are you planning on picking up the English versions if you already own the French versions? Like I said, I will leave this link down below, and I believe the link takes you to Hatchet Hero's website, and then from there I believe it takes you to Amazon. So let me know in the comments if you have any thoughts, any opinions, and thank you so much again to Hatchet Heroes for sending this over. When I tell you, ever since I started coloring in these coloring books, it has absolutely been a dream to work with Hatchet Heroes, and it's actually insane that they reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to flip these. That is so cool. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below if you're not already, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye guys!